What is up, guys? This is Church of Caboose, and look at that tiny sparrow go. The Micro Mini is hilarious. It was available for Bright Dust yesterday when I logged in, and I made sure I picked that bad boy up, and it is so much fun to look at. Unfortunately, kind of hard to steer. Hey, what are you gonna do? It's better to be hilarious. To me, it reminds me of like one of those big wheel bikes. You know, if you're a 90s kid and you got one of those big wheels that's dressed up to look like things that aren't bikes, like trucks and that kind of thing. And it's just hilarious. It reminds me of a big wheels bike. It just makes me laugh. Not laugh so hard when I started using that yesterday. But anyways, so yesterday Solstice of Heroes released, and it's been a hoot. It's been so much fun seeing all those elemental orbs drop in, having all these like seemingly increased super rates come in, that solar flare deal for Solar Day being a thing where you're walking around and you're basically a pulsating star, and only you can prevent forest fires. Just kidding. Burn them all. Hashtag Game of Thrones. Anyway, I'm giving myself so much fun recording this. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys taking the time for watching. We have a lot of new people, it would seem, hopping into the Destiny for this event, which is fantastic that we're going into, since we're going into Shadowkeep. According to Destiny Tracker, it says for PvE, a little under 700,000 people were playing yesterday, and then on the first day of the solstice, and then a little under 671,000 people were playing PvP. And I did not take the time to see what normally the numbers are, but guys, that is so good. When I was playing Flashpoint, I was seeing all kinds of people like level 13, level 22, level 30, level 3, that kinds of stuff. And that is so cool to see that people either feel like it's now worth starting a new character or worth starting all the way over and just wiping one of their characters out and redoing it, or when I hope this is even more the case, that people are getting ready for Shadowkeep and decide they want to hop on in a little bit early because they know Shadowkeep is going to be lit. So anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. In this video, we're going to be mostly focusing on how to complete that green or drained armor sets that you will first get, how to get that, and then what you can do as you're getting your green armor set all unlocked to prepare for the blue armor set, because guys, this is a bit of a grind. I'm having fun with this grind so far, but it can definitely be a drainer. So here we go. Let's get right on into this. Get that green armor set. First, when you log in, go to Eva Vante in the tower. She will give you a helmet. Then you complete a run of the EAZ, and then you go meditate at the tower, and then you get the rest of that green drained armor set. So that's how you get the whole armor set. Then we're going to talk about how we get all those pieces upgraded and unlocked. Alright, so now we have earned all of our wonderful green armor because we finished all the steps with the EAZ and all of that fun jazz. And now the question is, dun dun dun, how do we efficiently get the green armor completed without wasting all of our lives trying to do this wonderful thing? Well, guys, first and foremost, make sure you're leaving on all of your blue armor, or excuse me, all of that green drained armor. Make sure that's all equipped all at the same time, because different armor pieces are interlinked with each other. For example, you could have a chest piece that has something about get arc kills or pick up arc elemental orbs in Crucible or Gambit. And then you could have a leg a piece of armor that says complete 10 Crucible or Gambit matches. So if you have one of those equipped and not the other, then you're not finishing them both at the same time. And instead of trying to look through and do all the weird math and like probabilities and all that fun headache kinds of nonsense, I would suggest just leave all of that armor on until you have a piece finished. For example, what I did was I had all my armor on. As soon as my helmet got done, because it was my first one I got finished, I switched it off for a higher power piece of armor just to make my life just a little bit easier. But guys, your power level being 700 won't make you suffer too much for anything, from my experience when I was playing. So make sure you're paying attention to having all that armor on, and you do want to focus on going after, one thing at a time. For example, you probably wouldn't get those 10 playlist strikes done by accident, unless you're someone who loves grinding out strikes on a regular basis. So you gotta make sure you're intentionally going for these different objectives, or you might not do 9 public events on Nessus, unless you're someone that loves grinding out public events. And so you do need to make sure you're paying attention to what you have to do on these armor pieces. Hashtag awareness. But anyways, guys, make sure you're keeping everything on, paying attention to what you gotta do. Now we're gonna get into how do we prepare for the blue armor pieces, because I kind of gave you a heads up that blue armor awareness was a coming to make our lives a little bit easier. So let's get on to how do we prepare for blue armor at the same time as green. What? You can do both? Yes, you can, my friends. Billy Mays here to tell you how you can make that blue armor a little bit easier while you're doing green. Real quick, before I forget, guys, before we go into that blue armor, we're going to cover real quick one last step with the green armor pieces. You have to do 3 adventures in order to complete one of the steps. I would suggest you consider looking at the planet of Titan. The adventures there tend to be a little bit shorter, and since Titan is the flashpoint for the week, you are able to do a little bit of priming for that weekly powerful reward by doing 2 adventures on Titan, because if you do 3, it might complete that powerful reward for you. So if you do 2 and then you do 1 somewhere else, then bingo bango bongo, you're a little bit ahead for that blue armor. So let's now talk more about that blue armor set and how to get ready for it while working on upgrading your green armor. For that blue armor, if anyone's been digging around through the internet to see what you have to do, you might know a little bit of what we're going to talk about, but hopefully these tips will be new to you and help you get this blue armor done with less of a headache. So let's get on into that blue armor stuff. So one of the pieces, and probably the most formidable and annoying steps you have to do, is complete 50 bounties and turn them in throughout the whole Destiny universe, which is nice because you got a metro crap ton of bounties that you can pick up. But here we go. This is why I was saying earlier, hey, don't turn in those bounties. Leave those bounties in your pursuit system. So here, let's talk about that. So you can turn in all those 50 bounties once you've gotten that blue armor set, and that gets you one of those bounties most of the way done. Because if you're like me and you picked up all the different things and you're paying attention to what bounties you can do when you're doing strikes and public events and planetaries and all that fun goodness, Crucible, Gambit, whichever way you decide to go with, you will potentially have somewhere between 20 to 30 bounties done without breaking much of a sweat. So you're over halfway done with that whole step of that armor piece. And the other thing, guys, don't be like me. Pay attention to when the daily reset is and when you turn in your bounties, because if you don't time it quite right, you could end up getting less bounties the next day. So for example, say you finish your bounties the night before and you get your blue armor set and you don't turn anything in, you go to sleep, you wake up the next day, maybe you go to work, go to school, or you just wake up after the daily reset, you turn them all in, you might have limited some of the bounties you can pick up. Now you will be able to pick up plenty of other ones, so it won't be a huge deal, but you might get to have to miss out on some of the easier bounties that you already turned in because you didn't do it before the daily reset, because sometimes these daily bounties repeat a couple of days in a row. You never know. So just be careful and aware of the daily reset and try to keep that in mind. Hashtag Destiny like a pro. Alright guys, so now what else do we got for the blue armor set? Well, other things you can work on would be to save up those weekly powerful rewards. So that now you know one of the blue armor pieces has a step where you have to turn in 5 weekly powerful reward, or 5 powerful reward milestones, and the best way to get those done are to leave open the easy ones. And unfortunately, you can't do a whole lot about Gambit or Crucible. You're going to probably get one of those weekly powerful rewards from one or the other. That's what I was suggesting. When you do your green armor, you just pick one or the other. Don't flip-flop between the Crucible and Gambit playlists. Just do one, knock the whole thing out. That way you leave the other one wide open. And then for strikes, I would suggest running the other subclass. So if it says like, hey, it's solar burn this week, so run a solar subclass. No, don't do that. When you're working your green armor, run maybe like 2 with your solar subclass on, and then switch to what like arc or void. So that way, all you gotta do to get another powerful weekly reward for your blue armor is just do 1 strike with the appropriate subclass on, and bam, there's 2 of them pretty close off the bat. And then you can also pay attention to doing like the Ada, the heroic story missions, the flashpoints, all of that fun stuff. Just try and save as many of the easy ones as you can, guys, so that way you don't have to get super creative. And if you're newer to Destiny, there's a chance some of the more weekly powerful rewards, such as Warner 44, or especially the forges, you might have a little bit of a tougher time because you might not have enough stuff unlocked, or some of those things just take longer. So try to leave yourself those easy quest steps or weekly powerful rewards to do for your blue armor set. Alright, so that is all I was able to find out. So the rest of the blue armor set has a lot to do with the EAZ, and once I have my blue armor set finished, I will put out a video on the blue armor set, and I'll do the same thing with the purple and the same thing with masterworking. Just a real quick recap, guys, of this video. So we talked about how to get the green armor set as from Eva Vante and the EAZ, and then we also talked about how to get all that green armor done as efficiently as possible. Don't forget to grab all those bounties and don't turn them in, because we also covered how to work on the blue armor set at the same time as the green, so that way we kind of get 2 progress for the price of 1. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope this video helped any of you guys out. My name is Church of Caboose. Have a great week and happy grinding, y'all.